Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So another day, another poll showing New Jersey to be a total dogfight. The governor's race that will be taking place there in 5 months is really just tightening, and it feels like every day we get good news for the Republicans and Jack Ciattarelli and bad news for the Democrats and Mikie Sherill. And this boils down to the fact that New Jersey is trending and moving to the right. You have a strong Republican against a weak Democrat. The early vote data so far looks good, even in the mail-in voting compared to years past for Republicans. And every day there's some new scandal that's just being unearthed about Mikie Sherill, and she really doesn't know how to navigate it. And you can't ignore it anymore. You can't just brush it aside and say, oh, the Democrats are going to win this race by 10. That's not technically the way that this is shaping up. Now, they're probably in good shape in Virginia. I still encourage people to get out and vote. But New Jersey, this is a blue state. It has not voted Republican at the presidential level since 1988. And it voted for the Democrats in 2024 by just 6 points. And it does seem like at the state level, which is important because who controls the state tends to be able to transform a state in one direction or another, and especially where you have New York City, it's on the verge of electing a total Marxist to be their mayor, and then New Jersey, gets a Republican governor who's going to be competent, likable, etc. You're probably going to have more Republicans move from New York to New Jersey, and what that is going to do is it's probably going to make New Jersey on the table in 2028. And if Democrats have to defend New Jersey or they lose New Jersey, it's not going to end well for them. So we're going to look at this early vote data. We're going to analyze some recent developments that have taken place over the past couple of days in this race. But first, really quickly, got to tell you guys about my friends over at Allegiance Gold. While the media is obsessing about Trump's tariff, something big is brewing and nobody's talking about it except right here. Because under new Basel III international banking rules, gold has officially been reclassified as a Tier 1 asset, placing it on the same level as cash in U.S. Treasuries. Translation, gold is money again. Just in the first quarter, thousands of tons of gold were quietly moved back to the U.S. from Europe. Meanwhile, central banks around the globe are stockpiling gold at record levels. That's not a coincidence, it's a signal. So if the world's most powerful financial institutions are hoarding gold, why aren't you? Don't wait. Call Allegiance Gold, the trusted experts that I've partnered with that have the highest ratings and accolades. They'll help you secure real physical gold and silver delivered straight to your home or placed securely inside your IRA or 401k. Go to allegiancegold.com/redeagle or call 844-790-9191. That's 844-790-9191 and mention Red Eagle. You could be eligible to receive up to $5,000 in free metals, but only if you act now, because gold is freedom, gold is sovereignty, and as of now, gold is officially money. That's allegiancegold.com/redeagle or call 844-790-9191 today. All right, guys, so the early vote data in New Jersey, we have to look at this because it's true the Democrats are leading. It's preliminary, but they are leading. But that's to be expected because a lot of Republicans vote on Election Day, and in some cases where they have early in-person, Republicans prefer to vote early in-person. But the mail-in voting numbers still, and this could be because Republicans have more faith in the system after 2024 or whatever, they're doing much, much better as a percentage of the pie compared to the Democrats when it comes down to voting by mail. Now, you want to look at 2024, this day in history. Well, Republicans were at 22.9%. Now they're at 27.76%. Rounding up, they're doing roughly 5 points better, and the Democrats are doing 5 points worse. So on net, Republicans are doing 10 points better. Now here's the deal. In 2024, Republicans only fell short by 5 to 6 points in New Jersey. So if they're really doing that much better now, what does that tell you? It tells you that they are competing. When it comes down to the turnout, they're doing well. Now, as for the NPAs, the people who are unaffiliated, those people, as time goes on, especially as these scandals start mounting for Mikie Sherill. And Jack Ciattarelli, he is endorsed by Donald Trump, but he's not like offensive to some people that are like on the fence about Trump. If anything, they'd be a lot more comfortable voting for somebody like a Jack than somebody like a Trump. But even then, Trump got close. Trump got close in New Jersey. So it is a battle of turnout. And you would think that the Democrats are the angry party and they would still be able to have this built-in advantage on top of whatever the 2024 baseline is. But I think in the state, there's a different level of anger. There's an anger at the statewide politics, the electric bills that are uniquely high in New Jersey because of the actions of Phil Murphy. On top of that, you do have this whole Charlie Kirk effect thing that's kind of taking place where a lot of people are becoming engaged in the political system because they see what we're exactly up against, and they don't want to let these people win. And Mikie Sherill's response to that whole thing made it a lot worse. That was one scandal. We don't have to cover that. We're not going to cover all of the scandals because there's just too many to cover and fit in this video, and we've talked about them in videos in the past, but we're going to talk about a new scandal. But I will say this right here is huge because Republicans are also returning a higher percentage of their ballots at a faster rate. That means Republicans here are the energized party, not the Democrats, even when it comes down to the mail-in vote. Even when they were winning, like Pennsylvania in 2024, I don't think that they had the lead of ballot return percentages, especially definitely not this far out. They definitely caught up a little bit. I don't remember what the end total was, but Republicans tend to shine on Election Day. So the fact that they're performing respectably in the mail-in vote is a good sign when it comes down to the energy. I will say that maybe you could say that they won't overperform by 10 points, and this is just all, I guess, a facade because they're cannibalizing voters or whatever. It's possible that people are just more trusting of the mail-in system now, but even so, it's like I don't believe this is all cannibalization that we're seeing in New Jersey. A lot of these people are just more energized to vote, and it shows. And when it comes down to the scandals that are mounting, it goes even deeper because you already had the Navy cheating scandal and the $7 million in insider trading where she said she didn't know if she made $7 million. It's like, you know, if you make $7 million, this isn't $7 or $70. This is talking about $7 million. That's a lot of money to literally anybody. Unless maybe you're Elon Musk or something like that. She's definitely not. So when it came down to the Naval Academy, they were having 5 slots available that she was able to nominate, and it's supposed to be based on merit. And she nominated 2 of her children to fill 40% of those slots. Yeah, that's not a good look, especially because these races tend to be less polarized. People care more about like personal character and things of that nature when you're running for governor more so than the partisan lean. And when it comes down to independent voters, they're not really a big fan of this. When it came down to Terry McAuliffe in Virginia, even though he was already governor, there were a lot of scandals mounting. A lot of that was policy baggage. Sherill has enough of that as she already has, but also personal baggage here. That's not going to help your case, especially in New Jersey, where there's a long history of corrupt politicians in the state, and people are sick of it, people are tired of it, and they haven't really been able to formulate an effective attack line on somebody like Jack Ciattarelli, so much so to the point where this guy is starting to poll well. He led a poll, the most accurate poll. Yeah, it's a right-leaning pollster, but he still led it. Emerson, he tied that. Emerson's pretty accurate. And then you have the Save Jersey poll, which again is a right-leaning pollster, but still 47 to 45. That's in line with roughly what the aggregate is showing. And it would make sense because this is a guy who almost won in 2021. Now, Republicans were uniquely angry, but he was also facing an incumbent who was much stronger by that fact alone. And on top of it, Jack was relatively underfunded. A lot of the energy went towards Youngkin. Now the energy is going towards him. I don't think anybody is really all that hopeful for a Winsome Sears victory in Virginia. If she gets that under 6 or 7 or even 8, I'd say it's a moral victory because the fundamentals and everything should show a massive Democrat win. Like we're talking about 11 or 12 points for somebody like an Abigail Spanberger. So if that doesn't happen, I don't want to hear about a blue wave. And as for New Jersey, if anything, Republicans might be the ones winning this race. Now, Democrats do have that baked-in propensity advantage, but this was an odd-numbered year as well. And this was an election where Republicans fell short by 80,000 votes in a state that the previous year voted for Joe Biden by 17 points. And this was really before Biden's popularity completely went off the cliff, even though it was underwater. A lot of that was more Afghanistan related. The economy was starting to unstable, but not completely. A lot of the Republicans were angry over things like the COVID mandates, and education was a big issue, especially in Virginia, not as much in New Jersey. But you saw how well Republicans did. And here's the deal. All Jack needs to do is basically convert 40,000 of those Phil Murphy voters, make these red circles bigger, make these blue circles less blue. And Donald Trump himself did better than Jack in a lot of these counties that were closer to New York City in the Newark area. And he's going to have to get out those voters, get out enough voters. And it does seem as if he has enough resources and that Republicans are energized enough for him to compete. But it's not even just that. He's winning endorsements that endorsed Phil Murphy in the past, unions, and also mayors, Democrat mayors. Another Democrat mayor in Mikie Sherill's own district has come out, 75% Hispanic, Dover. This Democrat in this city that voted for Kamala by 13 points, endorsing Jack Ciattarelli. That is absolutely massive, a huge endorsement for him to have. At the state level, these things add up, and it shows he has crossover appeal. He absolutely does. And I'm not saying he's guaranteed to win, but is this race competitive? Yes. Is this race likely D? No. I don't even think you can call it lean D at the rate things are going. It's venturing itself into toss-up category. So we do have 5 weeks to go, but you have a lot of momentum. Jack is on offense. She's on defense. That is not a place you want to be on in a state where you have a Republican president in the White House, and this is a state that voted for the Democrat, who was a very weak Democrat, by 6 points in 2024. Not a position you want to be in as a Democrat. Jack is getting closer. I encourage people to get out and vote in New Jersey, and if you know people in New Jersey, get them out to vote. Make sure they vote. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.